Excellent. Hello, friends. To celebrate having 6 subscribers, we're going to play Masks. We have a very special crew with us today. Unfortunately, Rich and Jim can't make it today because they're at the very cool Camp Nerdly convention, which I'm very jealous of. But I'm also enjoying my air conditioning and my refrigerator and all the other comforts of home. And today we have guest stars with us. We have Lowell and we have Ryan with us today. And they've brought new characters, and we are going to define them a little bit more, make sure that they're fully fleshed out, and try to integrate them into the team as recent new members of the Young Guardians. But first, I just want to talk a little bit about safety tools now that we have new people on. I've played with both of you before, and we've done safety tools and had that discussion, but I always like to have it on fresh in our minds so that we can have access to them if we need it. This game, I'm particularly trying to leverage the use of Bree Sheldon's script change, which is all about using the vocabulary of VHS remote technology as a way to edit and control the narrative that we talk about. So basically, when you encounter something that you're uncomfortable with in an unfun way, you can choose to pause. We can have a discussion about it. We can rewind. We can maybe change the situation up a bit. We can fast forward, which is where, kind of like drawing a veil over something, we just kind of don't describe that on screen and we cut to the aftermath, right? So in addition to that, we also do have the X card on the table always. If you ever come across any content that is just triggering for you, pull out that X card and we can stop and address that as necessary. We're respecting each other as people first and storytellers second is the plan. Okay, very cool. Let's go ahead and start with your character, Lowell. Tell us what you have established about them as of now.
Oh, excellent. Let me pull up that little sheet. So, Doug is a galactic anti-nemesis weapon created by a group that do that kind of thing. And they're really awesome. Doug is very good. She's very awesome. And what she does is she fights evil galactic nemesis. And that's what she does. Very good at it. And she does that by using up and destroying her own life force, by summoning versions of herself from other dimensions and things. That's how she does telekinesis to grab things or psychic things. And eventually, all this will kill her. But Doug fights evil.
Well, that's just cheery.
Absolutely. That's how you fight evil. Sacrifice.
Very good to
Doug
know.
is the Doomed from the Masks playbook, Doomed.
I thought that might be appropriate.
Yes.
So,
go on.
On a meta level, I'm excited to have the Doomed, but it is important to note that you are a guest star. We have you for one episode here. Now, I want to make sure that we leverage the Doomed to their full potential within one session. So, what sort of things would you like to see out of the Doug? What would you like? How far do you want her Doom track to go today? Do we just want to see a day in the life of the Doomed? Or do we want to see...
I at least want to see one step towards that Doom. So that would be my goal. I don't need to blow up at the end. Just the threat that's coming and knowing that this person who's very nice is going to die in the process of doing all this. So just that sort of heartbreak would be nice to have on the table.
Well, I love it. I love everything about Doug so far. A couple more questions about Doug. You mentioned she is a galactic anti-nemesis weapon, which unfortunately is an acronym that's incapable of pronunciation.
Yes, but that's why it's Doug.
Is that a different one? Does that stand for something?
Not that Doug has been told.
Okay. But Doug has been created, you said.
Absolutely.
Okay. So has she grown from a certain age, or is this her?
Doug believes that she's been around for a while, but Doug is not entirely certain about that. Doug has a set of memories. Doug talks about Doug in the third person as well, so that could be a problem at times.
Okay.
I
Well,
have
you're
a
in
question.
good company. Go ahead, Maria.
What's a nemesis? Not in the mechanical sense of like the Doom, because I know that, but what's a nemesis in the fiction in this case?
Whatever galactic level threats would pop up. You know, your Thanos or your ego, or somebody who runs a lot of red lights. They're those people that defy the galactic laws are nemesis.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping to have at least one of those type of people show up today. Fantastic. Cool. So that's Doug. Yeah, Ryan, if you want to give us a similar summary of your character, the name and playbook and all that good stuff, go ahead.
So one of those people who might show up today who defies intergalactic laws is Calliope, the delinquent, who has no time for laws and stuff. She's here to have fun and do cool stuff. I have teleportation and illusions because what is the point of having illusion magic if it doesn't make your hair, well, illusion powers, if it doesn't make your hair always look perfect. So she always looks great. There is no dot on her outfit ever. It's awesome. I'm not totally sure of like origin because I know in like the Guardians of the Galaxy, there's at least one partially human character. I could totally be a human looking alien from like the fringes of the Shi'ar Empire or something because they're kind of Roman Empire and that they just are culturally diverse because they keep taking over everything. So.
Very cool. So tell us a little bit about Calliope's powers that you alluded to. Where does their source? Is that like a natural part of your genetics or a mutation? Where does that stem from?
It's definitely a mutation. If I am sort of alien, it's not real common in all the aliens. So either mutant from Earth, mutant from some planet. But I had a sentence and I lost it. Yes, it is inherent to me, but not to my species, to be able to teleport and make things look cool.
Awesome. Well, that definitely answers the first backstory question, but I think that we could maybe dig in a little bit to your second backstory question, which is, what do you do for fun? I mean, you've already mentioned that you like breaking laws and looking good and being elusive.
Yeah, I am all about the aesthetic. But
how do you leverage that for fun?
Well, though I can get pretty much anywhere I want by teleporting, I probably have, limits. Like, I don't think I teleport between planets, more like between scenes. Right. And I'm really good at getting stuff I want by being kind of a sneak. So I have a joyriding streak. I like kind of helping myself to people's ships and taking them where I want, kind of thing.
Love that. Very cool. All right. Now, Lowell, unfortunately, because we're using a playbook that I do not have preloaded into the character sheet, I am trying to track down your backstory questions so we can be complete with those as well. Do you have those on you at this moment? If you want to read the first one.
I do.
Perfect. Go ahead and read that out to us.
All right. So when did I first learn of my doom? So that's like, guess what? Your hero is gonna kill you. So like right then, when it kind of came to sort of consciousness and awakening, maybe doesn't entirely have a great sense of what that means. Maybe not a great sense of what death means. So yeah. I've got a little sanctuary that they gave me. It's probably like a little floating sphere. It's a library, with a computer and a power device and stuff. It's really cool. It is, however, very obvious and easily tampered with. Might not have been the best design on the part of the people who made me. And why do I oppose my nemesis? Because that's what I was told to do.
Okay.
Let's see. Who outside the team is crucial to defeating your nemesis? Everybody, because everybody needs to pitch in. It's a team effort to fight against evil.
I've always said that. I've
Yes.
always believed that.
And why does a team matter to me? Because only the best get to be part of teams.
Oh, okay. So there's a bit of would you call that competitive? Or how would you describe that feeling?
I would describe it as awesome. That's how Doug would describe it.
So by being a part of this team, you feel as if you are one of the best.
Yes.
Okay. Oh. Did Doug realize that that's important to them? Or is it a subconscious thing?
In Doug's sense of self-awareness, that's probably the kernel of self-awareness that will serve to make Doug begin to regret that, in fact, this is all going to destroy Doug.
Wow. That is
The Dark? Yes.
indeed. The Darkly comic, I hope. So as part of our world building character creation process, we do have a Google drawing available in the player resources, which is our galactic map. And this is something that we all collaborate on together. So we can introduce factions and people and places and things as part of our characters and creating them. So as the galactic anti-nemesis weapon, you said that you had a creator. Do you know who that was?
I imagine a group of like second tier cosmic beings, like there's the Owens in the Green Lantern universe. And of course, we got the Collector and all of those high and mighty characters in the Marvel universe. These are the second tier cosmic figures. They're not the Eternals; they're the sort of semi-Eternals kind of folks. I don't have a name for them yet.
Okay,
that's what I think.
Interesting. So this is part of their far-reaching ambition and strategy here.
They've told me that this is part of their plan.
How much interaction do they have with the rest of the galaxy on a day-to-day basis?
I imagine that not much. And Doug believes that's because they need to keep their stuff secret. But it's probably more likely that people wouldn't pay that much attention to them.
Fair enough. I'll have some more questions for you, but I want to go back to Calliope and learn a little bit more about her. Further backstory questions for you, Ryan. Who outside of the team thinks better of you than you do?
I was getting stuck on that one because that's going to require defining a PC. I mean, NPC probably.
That is within your power, but it does take a little bit more creative juice, I imagine.
Can I ask a favor here before we move on? Could maybe we have the other two, the pre-existing PCs, give us like a 1 minute pitch?
That's a good point. I was sitting there in the back of my mind, and I was also thinking we should probably do a quick recap of the events up till now.
I listened to most of the first one, but
I have to go right now, but I will do that once I get back.
Maria's going to go talk with the pizza guy. But how about we start with Agatha, if you want to introduce your character with her summary, and depending on how Maria's doing, maybe we'll work together and summarize events. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Take it.
My character is Inkanel, or that's her hero name, and then her normal name is Enan. She's the Reformed, so she used to be a super villain. Her old name was Soldier 9, but then when she decided to leave that life, she chose a name for herself, so she flipped the 9 around, became Enan. She's got a lot of baggage there's her old bosses are still. She thought that their contract, or yeah, she thought that their contract as her working for them was over when they left her for dead, but it turns out it's not. And yeah, she's got a lot of guilt and responsibility issues. She's trying to do good, but she doesn't always know what that means.
Yes, as I switch tabs to unmute myself. That's a very good breakdown. I think it's important to mention that Inconel, as when she was Soldier 9, was recruited by the company, right? Which is this somewhat sinister, extra-military conspiracy group. If that sounds about right. And when the team first came together, you faced a familiar foe. Is that right?
Yes, the person who recruited me, also my boss, and his name is Mr. Milan.
Indeed. And if I recall correctly, Mr. Milan was working together with an engine of the cosmic machine to try to take control of a decommissioned living battleship out in space. But luckily, with the help of a Kree super scientist and a Skrull super Skrull, sleeper Skrull, they were able to defeat them. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So, in our first, or our last episode, so to speak, correct? We dealt with a problem that it revolved around a former teammate who had a helmet that had been tampered with that caused her to go bad, right? To go evil. But we were able, through great strength, to remove that and to destroy the black tentacled goo that was found inside the helmet that was trying to control her. And on the way out of her weird base, we saw the darkest versions of ourselves, and we saw 3 nodes of the cosmic machine that happened to be in the area for some reason. I wonder if that's relevant. The cosmic machine, right on cue, we have Maria here to tell us more about her character Eagle Eyes and a little bit about the cosmic machine.
What about the cosmic machine?
Just give us the elevator pitch.
So,
The baseball card.
So if you think about the God Machine from Demon Descent, that's kind of it. It's like a machine that controls reality, but it has different engines to do its thing. So the one related to Eagle Eyes is the Fate Weaver engine, and I might have to explain Eagle Eyes in a sec. So, all right. So Eagle Eyes is a cowboy wannabe, basically, and he's the bull. So he has guns as his weapons, but he also has claws. Like his hands are actually claws. And as the bull, his love isn't here right now, so that might change soon. But his rival is Inconel, so. And therefore, shenanigans will probably happen. The cosmic machine is this unknowable entity, might be a nemesis, might not be. I don't know, depending. Oh. What else do you want me to say?
I think that's about right. Just it sucked you across great dimensions from your cowboy homeland.
Where apparently I shot my love/rival because they were the same person once.
Yes. And an engine of the cosmic machine is like one of their agents. And for you, you said was the Fate Weaver, and this is a voice in the back of your head that actually encourages you to be a hero, right? So
yeah,
it might not be that sinister, right?
I don't know.
Hopefully not. We'll see. So that's a little bit of the landscape today. Does that give you any more ideas for your NPC for Calliope? Or does it just fill you with more questions? I think you might be muted.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, unmute myself before I talk. That would be helpful. The obvious choice for someone who thinks better of me than I do, I guess, would be Corin then.
Yes, that's pretty obvious. She
Yes.
thinks of, well, Corin before she got brainwashed, yes. And I don't know what happened afterwards because she's still unconscious as far as we know.
Yeah, I guess it sort of ties into the. Am I technically part of the team? Am I someone that you knew from the past who's like popped back in? Am I a guest star who has never appeared in this comic before?
I think for purposes of our context, you've all been hanging around for a while.
Okay, cool.
So you're back. Well, that's just like Calliope after all. But yeah, when you come back, Corinne, she'd gone bad. Now she's back, but now she's still unconscious, in a bit of a coma until plot fulfills itself.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Until plot.
and I also brainwashed her again, right?
All right, you brainwashed her to not hurt people, which may be a problem.
Well, I guess it's more like a suggestion, but
But it's still like super effective, I guess. So don't hurt people, guys.
Yeah. Please, Corinne, punch this fellow. Can't do it. That would be fun to see. Okay, yeah, I could definitely see Corinne like that. We've established that Corinne is a legacy hero. She comes from a long line of Novas who are super powered butt kickers for good. Yeah, so that was really hard for the team when she went bad. And it turns out that it was that Kree super scientist who accidentally caused that shift. But we will see the culmination of that next
But
session.
none of us here know that because Verlax isn't here and neither is a scientist.
Yeah, so
I like that though, being a. I know that someone on the team thinks that I'm great, but also she's currently in a brainwashed coma. So what the heck, guys?
So who do you got? But, with that in mind, now that Corinne isn't around to, tell you that you're better than you are, why do you try to be a hero?
Well, like I said in the bit on the character keeper, I'm here to have fun, not hurt people. There's a line. And also, heroics can be pretty fun, especially if you're looking for ways to show off and everything, because I am pretty showy, and in a fight, that's kind of what you want. So, and then nobody tells me that I'm laying on too heavy.
Fair enough. I can see that. So I guess my question would be to kind of follow up on that. Heroics can be fun, and Corinne is cool, but why do you stick around with this team?
I think because they're kind of fun deficient for the most part, but they're a pretty solid group of people. And don't look at me like that, Doug. You're dull. But yeah, they're very solid. I could trust on them to be there when I show up, and that's not something I have a ton of, given that I keep just kind of bugging out wherever I go and then running off again and stealing people's stuff.
Wow. So you're here because they make you look cool by comparison.
Well, not just that, but yeah, I know that. I mean, should I maybe get myself into a scrape now and then, I can come back and expect that they will back me up, or that they've got their bio ship I can hang out on or whatever for a while if I need to lay low. And yeah, I mean, really, they should be grateful that I keep hanging out with them, but I like them pretty well for now.
Very good. So one of the themes that we've been trying to enforce in this series that has been very nimbly skirted by some of our characters is the importance of family. Not necessarily your biological family, but the new family that you make together, right, as teenagers. And of course, we have our orphans and our cosmic castaways, so to speak. So we don't have many connections to biological family. But we have here Doug, who is created by this group. Does Doug have anyone that she considers to be family?
Wow, that's a really hard question for Doug. I think that Doug doesn't have a great differentiation between the idea of family and team.
Mm.
So Doug probably comes in just going, okay, well, that's a team, so that's obviously your family. And it comes in just assuming that.
I see. Do you feel the same way, Calliope?
I think so. I mean, family is like expectations and trying to tell you what you are and weigh you down and everything. But I feel like the team is what people tell me the best aspect of family should be. You know, they're people that you know are there for you and you care about them as well and everything. And I don't know. I mean, they're not a total drag the way that I would expect biological family to be.
Fair enough. Well, with that in mind, do you have any biological family ties that are still connected?
I don't think I can signal heavy eye roll big enough for the camera. So just imagine. But yeah, heavy eye roll. So much side. Yeah, but I took off as I'm prone to do, and I'm not going back. You can't make me.
Well, that's true. I can't. But I can label you for that.
No.
So you do have family back at home. Okay. Now, if you'd like to, you could definitely label your home planet on that galactic map if it's something that's interesting you or interesting to you. But if that's a theme that we're not necessarily interested in exploring with Calliope, don't want to take up too much time with our one guest session to have family drama beyond a large eye roll. So I will leave that up to you. Okay.
Yeah.
What do we think? Bonds first or how we got here first? What do you think? What do you have more ready answers to?
What do you mean by how we got here?
The when our team first came together question. Because what we're going to do is have the two of you answer those questions. That's just going to be how you kind of joined the team back in the day, right? So we're glomming you on. You had another origin story, but that was a while ago. So you've still been hanging out for a while.
Bonds are the relationship questions?
Right. Yes, that's what I meant to say.
Okay. Well, it seems to me like Enan's like maybe the person who's kind of seems like they're in charge, kind of the dad kind of person, right? Who actually talks and doesn't look just scary, like the cowboy person. So I think that I've told Enan everything about the Doom and how this is all going to kill me, but I'm here to help.
I love how you told specifically Inan, considering who Inan is.
No idea. Enan looks like the dad figure or mom figure, depending on your gender hierarchy.
I'll have to double check the library on how that works. But Enan, how does that make you feel? A, being considered the father figure, and B, hearing about this doom that is befalling Doug. Doug.
Like pretty awkward because it's like I don't know I don't know how to people aside from hitting them with metal things. But she's trying. She's like, okay, like, and every time the duck tells her something, she's like, okay. She doesn't know what to
Can
do
I
with it.
can I suggest something?
Yeah,
Inin has been trying to survive this entire time, right?
yeah.
And now there comes along a person who knows they're gonna die and they're kind of happy about it. How does that make you feel?
Sorry, that all cut out.
Now there's a person who comes along and they're happy to die and they know they're gonna die. How does that
Right.
make Ining feel?
Yeah, I think
Considering
it's very confusing for Enid. She's just like all of her values everyone keeps it's like she thought that the world was this way and this is what you wanted to do. So like at first it was like I want to survive, so I got to get strong, and then it's like, oh, but you can be strong and help people. You don't always have to destroy them. And it's like, oh, okay. And then now it's like, or you could just not survive. It's just like I don't understand. Also, the duck keeps coming to me with their problem.
Okay. But you're earnest about it. You wanna help out.
Yeah, maybe, kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
You're still figuring it out. How about one for Calliope?
Let's see, where are my bonds?
We lost the GM.
Haha! I have seized control of the game.
Yes.
My rules
Wait.
now.
my city now fight.
Fighting would be fun. Makeovers for everyone.
Isn't this like Didn't this happen like every session though?
Does it?
No, it has
Yeah.
happened at least like once every session.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mike, you need
Fine,
to
Mike.
fix your computer because this has happened like once every session. Like no,
I've been here
guaranteed.
the whole time.
I relinquished my control of the game back to the gym.
I'm here. Sorry about that. Calliope, did you have an answer to one of your relationship questions?
Yeah. This might be too much straight on it, but I would love it if Doug and I pulled an awesome if illegal stunt together, and Doug wasn't totally clear that it was illegal until afterward or something.
That was quite the shenanigans. Got me there.
Why did you choose the Doug to be your partner in crime?
Well, Doug has this really cheerful, kind of open front that to me just seems like there's got to be more to her than, the law and dying and being cool with that. Clearly, she needs to have some fun because she seems so primed for it and she's just not going for it.
Yeah, I like it. Very cool. Well, to Doug, I'm very excited to hear the answer to your second relationship question because it involves kisses. What you got?
You made it.
Geez. Well, I think it actually has to be Calliope. So that has to be like just the thing that's behind the fact that she went on this stunt, and maybe when the sign started to look like, okay, this is maybe not entirely on the level, that Doug looked the other way, perhaps more than Doug ought to have.
I'm Doug's blind spot. I'm so honored.
How's that sound?
I am all for that. That sounds awesome.
Now, how tuned in is Calliope to this desire?
I don't think terribly because, yeah, Doug thinks she's awesome. Everyone should. Finally, she's getting her due. So,
Fair enough. So we know that Calliope has some respect for Corinne, and that Corinne is someone who you value. But who do you try to impress with your antics?
I think it's got to be Inin for about the same reasons as Doug, that she seems to be the, one who's kind of in charge. And also, are we aware that she's the reformed to an extent, or are you really private about that?
I'm pretty private about it, actually.
Okay, cool. Then I am not aware that you have a past.
But you could know. It's not an issue.
Okay.
What would be more
Does
interesting
not
for you?
know.
Yeah, let's say not know, because I would totally think that's cool about you, but let's say that I have no clue. You just seem to be sort of the new Corinne to an extent, because I'm also getting the vibe that maybe no one else on the team, or maybe you also wouldn't say you're the leader, but you seem to kind of fill that role. So if I can get you to think that I'm awesome, then clearly the team thinks I'm awesome, and I win.
I hope nobody hears about your past, because you're being set up to be the real paragon of this team. And if everybody knew what was going on with Inin as Soldier 9, that would not be a good feeling. But that's what's exciting. Very cool. Okay, thank you for detailing those relationships for me, everybody. And just to be clear, Agatha, did you have any problems with that relationship, or does that work for you?
So a huge part of that was actually garbled on my end, which is why I turned off my video.
Yeah, technology is hard.
Basically, you're a team leader for some reason.
Yeah,
well,
not that you are the team leader, but just that Doug and Calliope have both kind of lit on, oh, this is clearly the new Korean figure for our own reasons, regardless of whether you or anyone else on the team would agree. So we both seem to think you're the one to impress.
Oh, yeah, no, that's actually really
me.
interesting. That's pretty good, because whoops. I don't know.
You're with us, Agatha.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if we were talking over each other, but that's great, because Inin has also kind of a reliance, like a moral reliance on Corinne. So it's gonna be great.
I'm definitely gonna have to have her be like kidnapped or something, so that I don't have her like steal the show, because she's a really awesome person. Excellent. Okay, very cool. So final thing that we want to do before character, or to finish up character creation, is to throw in a little bit of fiction about when our team first came together. So Lowell, let me double check my PDFs here for your question.
We paid a high price for victory.
Right.
You got to see one of my future dimensional selves self-immolate and destroy a possible positive future for me. It just did an implosion of possibility there to save the day.
Oh, ow. So this is part of your powers, is that you're burning future versions of yourselves, and once all these futures run out, then there's nothing left but doom.
All done.
Okay. So tell us a little bit more about what situation you had to, what obstacle you had to overcome that was necessary for you to self-immolate yourself.
I imagine it was something that had powerful shielding that we couldn't get through with conventional means, even with Calliope's teleportation. And so I had to pull somebody from another sort of future in. That was the way to get past and have them implode to knock out the barrier.
Okay. All right. Interesting. And as for Calliope, what was your role in there? What's your question?
Mine is, we totally broke some major rules to win the fight. What rules would we break? Whose rules were they?
Interesting. So we have this obviously galactic nemesis, right? And facing this was a real test for Doug to really show her creators that she truly had the capability to defeat such a nemesis, right? And we know that it had a powerful shield was involved that your teleportation could not overcome. But you're just the sort of person who knows just the exact sort of rules that need to be broken in order to get the job done. What do you think that might have been? Might it have been related to the Shi'ar Empire that you alluded to?
That works for me. I must confess that I do not have the depth of Marvel knowledge that some of the people playing do. So
here's the wonderful thing.
I'm not totally up on the Shi'ar Empire, besides knowing that they glom onto stuff, and some of them are birds.
Here's all that I have established so far about the Shi'ar Empire. They are in power over this yellow blob of the map, and they're called the Shi'ar, and their empire is called the Aerie. I just had that in place in case we needed something else to hang on to, but it ended up that when we did character creation that everybody had cool stuff already, so I didn't need to rely on it. So that means you get to establish whatever you want about the Shi'ar, regardless of their history in Marvel, because I also don't know super much about them.
Time for me to go mad with power then.
Okay. Tell me about the Shi'ar and which of the rules you had to break.
I think that as far as the Shi'ar Empire, at least, was concerned, this was supposed to be sort of a private test for Doug, but I don't really go for that kind of rules, and I didn't really like seeing Doug, to die repeatedly in that pursuit of the goal. But I've got illusions, so if there's 8 Dougs doing a thing, you can't really tell which one is the right one and which one might be a buddy trying to break the game. So, yeah. I definitely tried to spin things in their favor.
Oh, so it wasn't ultimately a successful test for the Doug, is what we're saying, because their data got skewed by your illusions.
Yeah, they can't really tell if Doug would have succeeded at this thing on their own, but also we don't know that Doug would have died horribly in pursuit of finishing this test. So I'm happy because I didn't really want to see Doug flame out.
I think we could even theorize that this nemesis that was faced may have been a bit of a false flag operation. Maybe it was created by either the Doug's creators or the Shi'ar as a way to test them.
I love the implications we're getting here. And so let me tell you what I'm reading from this, is that the Doug's creators are not necessarily these cosmic people creating a justice system for the protection of the galaxy, but like a sort of corporate group who are trying to sell a galactic nemesis defense system to the various empires. And Doug is a prototype for that, though Doug does not understand or know that.
Very good. It's all a protection racket, basically. Okay. Wow. I like those implications as well.
Oh my gosh, another child soldier. Welcome.
Another victim to capitalism, yet again. I love our lighthearted fun. No, I love this. I'm really digging these characters. I'm going to just set up the scene that we're going to be going into. And then we're just going to take like a 5-10 minute break to, address biological needs and stretch and all that good stuff. So as part of your task as the young Guardians of the Galaxy, as we've established, you like to track down threats to the galaxy as a whole and try to stop them. So I think Eagle Eyes in particular, you've been trying to track down leads on the cosmic machine and its nodes, which we've established are kind of like weird black hole reality tears. And they're kind of hard to track down because it's the sort of thing where You
I have
can't look
a
directly at them, right?
yeah. I have the question which I mentioned in chat, which is, what is that dance club doing in the danger zone?
Oh, very good question. Well, let me get right to that. As part of your investigation, you've tracked down the lead of a person who is using technology from the cosmic machine. Okay.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
You don't necessarily know what they're doing. Maybe you have some radar that's like pinging this kind of energy or something like that. And it's all coming down to this nightclub. And it's just at the tip of the danger zone, really. It's not just enough to
It's
be
not
kind of,
really danger.
yeah,
but
it's enough to be kind of exciting. Like, oh, we're located in the danger zone, you know, but it's right on the edge. That nightclub is called The Signal. Okay. And it's called that because their form of music that everyone dances to are signals that have been captured and collected from another galaxy or possibly dimension, and they have instead of like big like DJ tables and things like that to create the music, they have big radios and sensors and things like that, and a bunch of dials to try to capture the purest form of the signal, which really is all an excuse for us to have some nightclub 80s Earth music to get this scene set. So that's what we're going for. Um, and when we come back, we're going to jump right to these four awkward teenagers navigating their way through a dance club. Okay. So on your break, if you have time, load up Salt and Pepper's Push It, MC Hammer's Too Legit to Quit, Footloose, something along those lines to give you a feeling for the signal that has been captured in this nightclub.
All right.
I'll see y'all in 5 to 10.
So, Maria, do you have anything specific that you want to do with Eagle Eyes? Like any kind of goals that you want to hit?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure right now, at least.
Okay,
I'm just rolling with the punches, I guess.
sounds good.
All right.
I was asking just in case, like, if you really want to do something, that we could like do that. But if not, it's cool too.
I'm just excited to see what Mike wants to do with this dance club.
Yeah, this dance club.
I suspect we'll be seeing the some of your guys there.
Yeah, true. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I think I'm supposed to roll. Michael.
All right, there was a beginning of session move that Inen has.
Yeah.
Once Lowell gets back.
Cool, cool. Those are always useful. Let me check
Yeah.
that out.
It's under my abilities, power, other.
One time passes. Oh boy.
Yeah. So my highest is Tegan Queen right now.
Oh, and
So,
I didn't dole out influence, but I care more than I let on, so 3 people have influence over me. And there's 3 other members, so you all get influence over me.
all right, that makes sense. All right. All right. And the dog gives influence to who?
To two of their teammates, which I think might just be Enid and Calliope.
Just
Based
making
on
sure.
That seems right to me.
Oh, cool, cool, cool. All right. Okay. So you're going to be rolling a +2 for your obligation, is that right? Tegan Queen has 2. Cool. Let's see if we're going to bump into her. And I guess we should take a moment here if you would like to tell everyone a little bit more about Tegan Queen, myself included, because I don't know much about her yet, other than her appearance, which is listed in the NPCs tab of the character sheet.
I just rolled a 12.
Well, we're definitely going to see her then. But yeah, tell us a bit more about her.
Tegan Queen she left the company way before I did, and when she left, there was a lot of it was like big news within the company. Like everyone was kind of talking about it hush hush whenever we would see each other in between missions, and because she just like it was like there was like a blow up, maybe literally, between her and the company, and she's not in their good graces, and they're not in her good grace either. She's pretty she's pretty bombastic in general, so that wasn't surprising at all. And she's like the kind of person that you like to hang out with because they're so fun, but you're also like kind of scared of hanging out with them because things seem to always go badly. You know, that one friend.
I think we all know who that person is. Calliope. But as an ex-member of the company, that means that she at one time, at least, had some ability or power or something like that that made her valuable as a soldier, right? Just like you. And so I'd like to know what that is. But also, part of these obligations is that these characters are still technically villains in some sense, right? So I'd like to know what Tegan Queen's power is, what edge she has that caught the eye of the company in the first place, and what she's doing with that now that might not be totally on the level. It doesn't have to be full on, like, burning down orphanages or anything like that, but some rule breaking stuff. What do you think?
Yeah, I will edit that right now. So Tegan Queen became specialized in knowledge-wise and also in the trading of cosmic artifacts. She was kind of the person that the company would send to collect information on cosmic artifacts and or collect the artifacts themselves. But she was also kind of like the librarian, the person who just kept notes on things and cataloged them. So that makes her very valuable, which is also part of the reason why she was able to leave, because she had enough influence outside of the company to do that. She had enough contacts and such. She's still trading in the black market of that right now.
So knowledge is her power. I like it. Fantastic. Okay. So maybe some of the people that she sells her information to, she's not just selling to the good guys here, right?
Yeah, she doesn't ask questions because that's how you do business.
Okay. And we've established, too, that she kind of has teamed up a little bit with another ex-company member, Ellen Devil Drummond, right? What's their dynamic like?
So Ellen Devil Drummond actually isn't from the company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they met outside of there. I think they knew each other before Tegan Queen left already. And when they're on screen, they're like the bickering couple who are always, like making fun of each other, but then got each other's backs and then like make quips while like shooting over each other's shoulders kind of thing. But they're also like, if it's needed, they would cut each other down to like get ahead.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Frenemies.
Yeah, and they both know that it's like that kind of a partnership.
Okay. Very cool. Okay. So she's going to be crashing into your life with a crisis soon enough, perhaps with Devil in tow. But I will hold on to that for when it's most appropriate here. So, tell us a little bit about the spaceship Calliope that you carjacked to get you to the signal.
It's a little kind of one-seater, really just built for jetting between planets quickly, or like from using to go around when you've got a much larger ship. Kind of like a glorified escape pod, but it's got a cool color scheme to it. It's got some like blue and pink detailing, and I like the hot pink. So it works for me. It probably could use a bit of work, especially given that I've been flying way faster than it's really supposed to maintain for a while. I'm not taking very good care of this ship, but it's not mine. So, drive it like it's stolen, because it is. And man,
Doug, are you aware of how this ride was acquisitioned?
Are we supposed to be going to this signal place?
Yeah, we're supposed to meet people there.
Excellent. Well, then I assume that this has been done with all of the cleverness that young Hardians can bring to bear. So, no.
Okay, wonderful. So through your clever scheme, you've managed to get there. And
Yes.
from the outside, of course, it's like a small asteroid, right, that it's taking place on. And it has this large tower with neon lights that kind of go up in rings, and it's like on this repeating light pattern of the signal in big neon lights here. Now, unfortunately, your readings, Eagle Eyes, have managed to bring you to this point, but with all of the signals coming into this station here, your gadget's a little scrambled. So, in order to find the real source of this cosmic machine energy, signal frequency, etc., you're probably going to have to look around. I'm imagining that this is like a warehouse-sized building on top of this asteroid that you could probably walk around in 20 minutes. It's one of those sort of odd bits of gravity that only exist in the movies, right? But that's what you have here. So your best bet after you park your blue and pink hot rod is to maybe go in. So I don't think we're necessarily at the point yet where we're facing a threat, but I do want to talk about the team pool. So we're starting off with 1 in the team pool because it's the beginning of a session, time has passed. But I'm kind of curious, who is like leading the way into the nightclub?
I think I am, since this is pretty much my mission, I think.
Yeah. So
Unless Inen's like obligation led her here by coincidence.
yeah, I don't think that Tegan has gotten in touch with you yet.
All right.
So this is just, you have a signal and it's here. So I think we can all guess that Calliope is dressed for the occasion, and I'd like to know a little bit more about that in a moment. But are you still wearing your signature duster, or have you maybe changed outfits to blend in on your mission more? What do you think?
Wait, who are you talking to? Sorry.
To
Me?
you, Eagle Eyes, yes.
Okay, I don't change my clothes. Well, I do, but like not in the sense of like I don't dress for the occasion, really.
All right. Well, you might stick out like a sore thumb, or they might be like, "Whoa, new trend."
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Calliope, tell us about your dance club outfit.
So Calliope has her typical sort of like pink studded, probably not leather, but equivalent of whatever leather would be on her planet sort of jacket. Actually, probably not even from her planet. She's probably picked it up somewhere along the way. Probably lifted it from someone who had it and she wanted it. Who knows? Let's not ask where she gets her stuff. And her hair is done up, big and floofy. Normally, that would be the sort of hairstyle that you put a lot of effort into, and it's going to be a pain to get it back out. But, she's really good at just making herself look how she wants. She could be wearing pajamas right now. Nobody knows. And, wedge boots that are pretty cool. She's got some sparkle going on, maybe body glitter or something. Maybe it's just illusions. We don't really know.
I'm very jealous of that superpower. It would be awesome to be able to just be in my pajamas 24/7 and not have the appearance of that.
And
that's
I
why you work from
imagine
home,
that
right?
yeah, I know that Guardians of the Galaxy was more 70s music, but I kind of imagine that when she first shows up, it's totally Bad Reputation by Joan Jett playing for a bit.
Yes. Is that the track that's kind of like blaring out of the door that swings open of the
Yes, as it opens
spaceship?
up and she pulls out, then yes, she's been cranking it.
Very cool. And so I think I'm playing on that 70s music a little bit as the new generation. We're bringing in a little bit of the 80s with this dance club here. That's the tunes that they'll be tuned towards. So to Doug, I'm not quite sure how much of your academical library has any information on fashion and uh, current teenage dance trends. But have you tried to alter your appearance in any way in order to try to fit in?
Now, was I supposed to? Because I'm just wearing my regulation the Doug sort of schoolgirl outfit that she usually wears.
Well, tell us a little bit more about that. What does
Well,
that look like?
it's kind of like a skirt, a blue skirt, and it's got the little shirt, a little blue vest thing on, and she's got these metal blue shoes on, and it's made to appeal to a certain demographic of 40-something male purchasers. That's why they chose this as the model for Doug's outfit.
Very
Nothing
marketable.
skimpy, but it has whole sort of mimetic associations that they went with.
All right. So Sailor Moon and the Cowboy walk into a bar. Awesome. So how about Enon, someone whose teenage years haven't given her many opportunities to cut back and let loose, and who we've established before gets a little uncomfortable around music and dancing anyway. What do you look like right now?
Maybe it's just reggaeton that she's not comfortable with. She's wearing also her normal clothes, which is like a dark hood thing. It's just her normal, like, ready for action outfit, because she's been in a lot of these situations before where they would go to somewhere and she would go with someone who's like ready to like mingle and like get information or like cut the deal or whatever, and she is the backup, the muscle, so she's like almost like already settling into that position where she's kind of fading into the background. And yeah.
Okay. So Eagle Eyes is kind of leading the pack, getting ready to swing open the doors of the saloon. But we have
The
over
team
here
pool is terrible, by the way.
what's that?
The team pool is gonna be terrible, by the way.
Well, we'll get to that when the
All
time
right,
comes. But we'll keep in mind that you might just be the leader of this situation here. Then we have over on the side here Calliope, who is looking extra glamorous by comparison. Are you content to let this cowboy figure be the first one in the door, and you're going to be off to the side? What do you think?
No, I mean, I know this team doesn't really prioritize looks and doing things well to an extent. And don't look at me like that, Doug. Come on, you're at the disappointment.
There's so much shade.
So I'm not going to try to shove Eagle Eyes out of the way or anything. I'm just hanging back a bit. And once they enter, then I'm going to make a proper entrance, because I am kind of a one-girl show.
Fair enough. So, as we've established, Eagle Eyes, you kind of swing open the doors of this dance club, and you're instantly flooded with a cacophony of lights, sounds, and there's like music playing, and occasionally there's some static, and they have to tune the dials, right? And there's a dance floor, and it's filled with aliens and humanoids, all of different colors and what can only be called genders, hairstyles, big, bold, vibrant clothing, right? And lots of dynamic moving and dancing. It's very loud, difficult to hold a conversation. You kind of have to yell into someone's ear to get through any sort of communication. And it's probably a little bit overwhelming, I imagine. You have a purpose here, though.
We have communicators, I think.
Excellent point. Thwarted by a better memory. One of the technological advancements that our brain has created for the team are telepathic communicators. these are walkie-talkies that are in your ear, in your head, and you're all able to communicate by thought.
And
So-
also in Corinne's helmet, but let's not talk about that.
yeah, that one went a little, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, is kind of what happened there. So you're still able to communicate by thought with your compatriots, but if you would try to talk to anybody else, it'd be a mouth cone. So what is like your first what's your plan going in here to try to track down this signal?
So I think I'm gonna basically look around for any, or I don't want to assess the situation or whatever the thing is. I want to have someone else do it because I'm terrible at that. So
And I think it'd be a good time here to point out that you currently still suffer from the guilty condition. And conditions are something that can be easily overlooked in masks, but at this time, you have a penalty to assess the situation and provoke because you're suffering from that guilty condition.
okay, so my superior isn't super terrible, but it's still a -1. So I would I'm gonna ask Calliope mentally to look for any sort of disturbances in reality, or any weird signals, and I communicate telepathically what they look like. So my intent is to have her roll instead of me, because that's
Calliope just outside, still muttering, like, "You mean based on how disturbing your outfit is? But okay." And she's gonna blow in, and it just so happens that as she enters, the lights are perfect so that there's kind of a bluish cast on her, and her pink stands out so much, and it is the perfect entrance. She somehow had perfect timing, or maybe she had an illusory boost to it. And I'm going to immediately start assessing the situation because I am good at that sort of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so you've been given kind of a difficult task. Hey, go and find something that looks like it's not part of reality, right? So I'll say you come in to this nightclub, and whereas everyone else is feeling disoriented and overwhelmed and confused, you're in your element, right? This is natural to you, so you're not necessarily constricted by the lights and the sounds of the dancing. You'd be able to fluidly make your way through this if you wanted to. How does Calliope look for these anomalies? What does that look like for her?
Buzz, it looks like she's not looking at all. Like Calliope comes in, kind of makes her entrance and cool pose, and then just joins in, dancing. And she is, hanging out. She's doing cool moves and that kind of stuff. But she's also keeping an eye for. She knows how this sort of club is supposed to look. She's got a feel for, nightclubs and teen hangouts and stuff, and is looking for the bits that just don't fit.
Other than the rest of the team.
Other than the rest of the team, yeah, because she knows about you. She sees
you. So, what do you say to Eagle Eyes to acknowledge his request?
I think she already said that, other than like how badly you look.
Other than his outfit, yeah, she's on it.
Yeah. So, Eagle Eyes, you just see her dancing around, and maybe you're not sure if she's really doing as you've asked, but go ahead and roll for us to assess the situation.
Me or Calliope?
Calliope, sorry, right. To be clear. And also, if you look at that character sheet tab, you can click on the moves tab in that sheet, and it'll also kind of have the moves listed there as well if you need a reference to that. So when you're assessing the situation, you're rolling with superior.
And with my superior, that's a 10.
Oh, fantastic. So you get to ask some questions there. What 2 questions would you like to ask? Oh,
I'm checking my criminal mind too, because that adds questions that I can ask.
I'm glad I looked at that as well. So you can always ask one of the following questions, even on a miss. So I think that's in addition to the 2 that you have.
Mm-hmm. So, I guess what here is the biggest threat? Because I'm looking for holes in reality and stuff, right?
Yeah, what here's the biggest threat? It's a good question. So I think what stands out to you as you're dancing, it's not like a rip in space-time or a black hole in the corner of the room that's threatening to suck all of reality in. It's one door. One steel door lit by a single white light, underneath of which a big burly bouncer with 4 arms and dark red skin is standing, and he's kind of got these tusks that come out of his mouth, and he looks pretty tough, right? He's got on the black T-shirt that says "Security" on the front. So, you cause trouble, that person's going to be a threat to you.
Then I feel like that kind of answers some of the questions that I was going to ask as follow-ups, which is nice because then I don't have to ask those, I guess.
Well, what we can do as well, is we can kind of montage this out a little bit. We can turn this move into a little scene here, right? So if you want to investigate that further and ask those questions, you can definitely do that. While you're thinking about those questions, I do want to check in with our 3 awkward fellows and know what you're doing in the meantime as Calliope is in her element dancing. Let's start with Doug.
Thank you. I'm vibrating.
I saw you.
I go because there has to be karaoke in here, so I am pushing my way, shoving my way through the crowd to get over to karaoke, because karaoke, that means we're plugged in. That's the heart of the signal. So I'll get in there, and so I'm getting the thing so I can get in on the karaoke, on the stage karaoke. So I'm very excited. So that's where I'm at, waiting for my turn to do that.
This isn't just karaoke, as it turns out. They don't do just
Space karaoke
at the Signal. This is dancing / karaoke nightly competitions. Okay, so if you want to get plugged into this karaoke, you're going to need to go up there with some choreography. They'll give you the little ear set to sing and dance. And you see, perfect timing as you muscle your way to the stage. There's a great little trio that just finished performing the galactic hit Ice Ice Baby, right? And they're all high-fiving, and they've got their big parachute pants and their white suit coats on, right? And they've all come off the stage, and prime opportunity to get up there.
Well, it's a good thing that I have a galactic library as my sanctuary that I can draw on for advice and assistance in this process. I will look to see, and I will draw down. I'm going to need something that's sung by one person that I can do, and that's a simple costume and thing. And I will kind of get that set and program that, and I will get up onto stage. Plus, I can provide a distraction. Anybody else?
Well, that's definitely true. So to be clear here, right?
Yes.
You are trying to tap into the power of these radios and technologies.
Well, I'm going to channel that, but I'm using my little sanctuary, my flying sanctuary, to give me the info to back it up. So maybe I'll pick something up in the process, but that's less important to me right now.
It sounds like maybe you're trying to shape your environment.
Ooh, I like that. Yes.
Or extend your senses. I think you're maybe...
Sure. I'll shape my environment.
Yeah, I think you might be unleashing your powers here, which is going to be with plus freak.
Okay.
Of course, you have to tell us what you're performing.
All right. I'm going to roll, and then I will tell you.
Okay. While you're rolling, Enon, we've established you're kind of keeping to the back and trying to do things like that. Is there anything else you're trying to do while you're back here? You preparing plan B? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm scoping out how many exits there are, aside from the entrance that we came in.
Okay.
And I'm also keeping my eye out on, well, kind of on everyone, but instinctively, especially on Calliope, because she's the kind of person that I used to be partnered with. So it's almost just like, oh yeah, this is like work.
Well,
but also to Doug, because the Doug is very excited, and that worries me.
Yeah, definitely. And the Doug has always said, team is what's important, and she's going out on her own right now. It sounds to me like you're maybe preparing to defend if necessary. We don't have a particular threat just yet, but I'll say that that's a great bit of fictional positioning. If the time comes, you'll be in a good position to defend. What about Eagle Eyes?
So I'm
you're
not
not
sure
good at assessing, but
so I'm not sure how to get rid of guilt. It says make a sacrifice to absolve your guilt, but I don't know how that would work fictionally.
Well, let's remind everyone, particularly why Eagle Eyes is feeling guilty.
Because he doesn't care enough.
Yeah, you saw this vision of a dark version of yourself where there was collateral damage and buildings on fire, and you just were walking away without a care, right?
Yeah.
So that's still heavy on your mind. But yeah, maybe you're looking for an opportunity to do that, but I'm not sure a situation's presenting itself here. So where do you go with your thoughts?
I'm not sure how to sacrifice how sacrifice would work in this situation, but maybe by supporting someone else, like the dog, even though I don't really care about that. Like I was thinking if that could be a good clear condition. I'm not sure.
Well, if the Doug's solo doesn't work out and it needs to turn into a duet, I think you sacrificing your pride to get up and dance with a schoolgirl would probably make you feel a little bit less guilty. But I want to circle back and ask if Calliope has another question she'd like to have answered.
So I'm going to pull in one of my delinquent questions and ask, what's the best way in or best way past this bouncer?
Oh, okay.
Particularly for the rest of the team who can't just poof past things they don't want to deal with.
Well, yeah, I was going to say for you, you probably could do that. But if you want to get everyone else, this guy looks pretty tough. So I'll say that muscling through might not be the best thing to do.
Unless you're Eagle Eyes, because you're also super strong.
True. So you see somebody come up to the bouncer, talk to them. You know, from with the lights and the fog going on, it's kind of hard to see what they look like in particular. They're kind of wearing this club get up. You know, they have a similar jacket type thing on. You see them talk to the bouncer a little bit. Again, it's so loud in here that you can't hear what they're saying, but the bouncer kind of gives them a nod and steps to the side and opens the door and lets them in. then closes behind him and goes back to his position. So if you were able to eavesdrop on that on one of those conversations, you might find out just what it takes to get your way in. All right, the Doug. What have you prepared for the audience?
So I did roll a 10.
Yes.
So just want you to know that that is in fact the thing that begins with there. So I think it begins with her back to the audience, and then she does turn around every now and then. I get a little bit older, and the sounds in the sound, I turn around, bright eyes. And she's not very good at it, but she is probably glorious to watch.
The crowd is enraptured. They're not sure what to think. They don't know whether to laugh or to cry, or you might be the next big thing.
Once I have their attention, I'll take that long pause, and that's the point at which I switch into never gonna give you up, never gonna roll you down. So I will rickroll them about halfway through there.
And from somewhere out in the floor, Calliope just cheers like, "Yeah, I know her."
and this sudden mashup that you've created really wins the heart of the crowd over. They're
It's a
cheering
very
for
calculated mimetic bomb that I'm dropping in the middle of the signal here.
So I will say, basically, that you have control over the crowd at this point. You can be a distraction. You could create a quiet moment if you wanted one. But on the edge
loud attention and through the telepathic thing, to the telepathic headsets, and going, now, go, now, go.
So if anyone wants to take that opportunity, they can. So when you hear go, Eagle Eyes, what does that mean? Do you know what you're ready to go do?
Did Calliope communicate with us with what we need to do?
So far, Calliope is just on the. So there's something behind that door. We got to get past the bouncer. Hang on. Where she's still assessing the situation. And then Doug does this amazing karaoke performance. And for a moment, Calliope is distracted because this is everything she could have hoped for from Doug. She is so proud right now.
All right. Well, fuck it. I guess I'm gonna run up to the bouncer and smash him away. So because we don't have time. Because go.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Inin to help me.
You ask your rival to come help you the dramatic hero.
Everyone else is distracted or doing the distraction, so.
And the Fate Weaver engine is in the back of your head saying, excellent, direct action. You're doing very well, my darling. But I want to give Calliope an opportunity before you come in with fists. Same with Eden, with fists or not, perhaps, to use that final question to maybe give you some an alternative that you might propose, which may or may not go unheeded, but it'd be good for everyone to know. Do you have a third question you'd like to answer?
I want to know what here is in the greatest danger, too.
Ooh, what here is in the greatest danger? So, Eagle Eyes is getting ready to barge into the store, right? You can see he's got that look in his eagle eyes, right, where he's ready to really get active, dynamic here. When that door that the bouncer was in front of opens, right, he kind of steps to the side and lets them out, and you see someone come out, right? It's the same person wearing that same jacket. And now that the crowd is dispersed a bit and the light's a bit more clear from this angle, you can see it's actually not a teenager, but a woman. tall woman with like warm brown skin, and she has a very colorful outfit on. And you can see her, she's like flexing her arm a little bit, like it's like been stretched or in pain or something like that. But I would like to know how you can tell. Well, I guess I would just say there's this look in this woman's eyes where it looks like she's being followed, right, or being hunted. How do you recognize that? What is it about that look or appearance that lets you know?
I don't have a lot of problem with being followed or hunted, given that I can just kind of get out of dodge whenever I want. But I know what it looks like, and there's sort of the way that she kind of glances around, like she's trying not to look over her shoulder and tip people off, but you can see that she wants to. And there's just a lot of small signals she's giving off that look to me like she's not happy or comfortable with her situation right now, and that she's expecting someone to catch up to her.
So you see that. In Canal, Eagle Eyes has come to you, and he wants you to team up and break down the door no matter who's standing in his way. What do you say?
I have a question about the lady that walks through the door.
Mhm.
Does she have a giant glorious? Does she have a giant glorious bouffant and like real brows that are like serious fleek?
She does happen to have very familiar bouffant and fleek eyebrows. I think that if you take a moment to look at this bouncer that Eagle Eyes is proposing that you bum rush, you will recognize someone from your past, someone that others may not know that you know, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna put on my arm in front of Eagle Eyes and say, just give me 1 sec.
All right.
And
Be
then
quick.
I'm gonna walk forward.
So your rival has just tried to tell you what to do again.
Yeah.
Right.
I be like, Alma, like, be quick, and yeah. As soon as she gets there, I'm gonna just rush through the door, anyways.
Oh my god.
Okay.
And I get plus
God,
one. And
why?
I get plus one forward to do whatever I roll because I'm infuriating my rival. So
That's how that works.
It's true.
Okay. So
and
it sounds like you're going to have a brief moment to talk to Tegan Queen. And you're going to be able to see and hear this interaction briefly. Calliope, before the bull rushes in to try to chop, so to speak. Doug, are you still on the same track?
Oh yeah, I'm looping that. I may be adding in some other riffs and mix bits there too.
The great thing is you have a huge musical library to choose from.
of memes, yes.
Yes.
Of the meme library available to you. So, and because you rolled a 10, this performance is not temporary. You don't have to worry about losing the crowd just yet, unless you do something drastic. So you can still be in control of the crowd in that way.
Until something goes horribly awry, as I'm assuming it will, I will continue on with my performance.
Okay. So what do you think, Enan? How do you think that Tegan Queen would refer to you? What would she call you? So you've had quite a few names through your past.
I think she calls me 9.
9? What are you doing in a place like this? You're not the dancing type. And you see she's kind of like looking side to side, still rubbing her arm.
What happened to your arm?
Huh? Oh, nothing. Just got a little work done. That's all.
Someone worked on you? Or did you choose to get it worked on?
Oh no. Trust me. I know where to get all of the best deals. All right. I got a good eye on that. Every girl needs a helping hand every once in a while, right? And she kind of, when she says that, she like flexes her hand, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna just like put it in my hands and like that's fine. I just need to get through that door.
Yeah, I think if it's okay with you, Eagle Eyes is already engaging the bouncer.
Perfect moment. I think that the bouncer is distracted, right? The bouncer's kind of paying
All right.
attention to this conversation here, and Calliope's over here, like, did she just call her 9? Are you flying over them with a diving tackle?
Roundhouse kick to the face on the bouncer.
Roundhouse. Oh my gosh, perfect. This has now become a familiar film.
Can I? Is there an aid or interfere move?
Oh, what a great question.
Yeah, I think so.
Can I defend the bouncer?
Well,
my God.
I guess the mechanics come into play now.
Or no, I'm gonna
Or
defend you.
defend me or defend the bouncer?
I'm defending you by pulling you back.
Well, so you're defending against a PC threat, it sounds like, maybe.
Oh yeah, true.
Defending me from me, okay.
Well, you're defending someone from a PC threat,
All right.
which is going to be your interfere move, which is going to give them a -2 to their roll if you roll defend well. But I do think now that we're getting dynamic, this might be a great time to talk about our team mechanics and get that figured out.
So it's 2 automatically.
Right.
I don't have influence over everyone else. I don't think everyone has the same purpose, obviously, because Incanel is not helping me.
I like how you phrase that, like everyone but Incanel has the same purpose here.
Well, I mean, for example,
the only one.
For example, I think, does Incanel mistrust me right now? I think so. So let's remove a team.
No, I don't mistrust you.
Does any other team member mistrust me?
Well, why don't we go through the questions?
Yeah, I'm not sure where you are on the list, so let's just...
Sorry, I was on the 3rd question because the other 2 don't apply. So,
Michael, can you walk us through the team thing, please?
Absolutely. So we're starting with the 1-team pool from the start of the session. It sounds like the team leader here is Eagle Eyes. You were kind of leading this mission when you walked in, and now you're still leading with your fists or your feet in this case.
Yes.
So our first question, because we're entering battle against a dangerous foe as a team, you're kind of all getting dragged into this as a team. And this bouncer, he's not necessarily like a supervillain, but he's a big muscular guy trained to throw people out of clubs. And some of these people are aliens or have superpowers, so I'm going to call him dangerous. So our first question is if the leader has influence over every teammate.
Do we add 2 to the team pool automatically? Because it says when you enter, add 2. Okay.
Right. So we can add an additional team if you have influence over every 2.
I don't.
But we don't. So we don't add that one. And then we ask if everyone has the same purpose in the fight. And it sounds like Incanel is trying to talk things out with Tegan and see what the context is, and you're wanting to go a different way. Now, this is the interesting question we come to here, because this has the possibility to remove a team. Does any team member mistrust the leader of the team? So we're talking about just inter-party dynamics here, not necessarily in this moment. So that's why you had said that Inconel doesn't mistrust Eagle Eyes, right? Even
Yeah,
though he's going against what you're saying.
Yeah, no, she doesn't mistrust him. In fact, this is pretty much what Incanel expected. So
Yeah. I don't mean to speak for Doug, but it sounds like you trust your family, you know.
Oh, they obviously knew what they're doing, right?
They're the best.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. And Calliope is annoyed that she's trying to formulate a plan, and Eagle Eyes just wants to go straight to kicking people in the head, but she doesn't mistrust him. She trusted him to probably skip the plan and go straight to kicking people in the head.
If this doesn't go well, maybe you start to lose some trust. But for now, we don't need to remove one from the team pool. But I do think that this next question definitely is in the is true. Is your team ill prepared or off balance? I would say yes.
We've got 4 different plans in play, so yeah.
We've got different plans in place. I mean, you definitely have the help of Doug up there, winning the crowd over. But I don't think we are. So here's the thing: you can remove one from the team pool, and then you'll have 2 instead of 3, or you can mark a condition to avoid taking from that team pool. And to put a fine point on it for everyone, because I'm not sure how much experience we all have with masks, but here's what you can do with Team Pool. If you're working with a teammate to help them, you can spend one of those team to give them a +1 to their role. And you can also spend a Team Pool to act selfishly, which allows you to shift your own labels when you act selfishly, however you describe that. And usually when you do that, it's so you can make a roll. It's kind of like giving yourself a +1. Because let's say you're trying to unleash your powers, you're rolling with plus freak, but you only have a +2 freak and you need a +3 to get yourself up to that 7 to 9 or that 10+. You can act selfishly, shift your labels, succeed. Does that make sense? So you can either spend it to help someone and give them a +1, or help yourself to shift your labels and effectively get a +1. Keeping in mind that your labels can't go past a +3. And if they were to, you instead mark a condition. So
yeah, I think this is acting selfishly.
Okay, so my question is here, do you want to take one from the team pool, or do you want to mark a condition instead?
I will take one from the team pool.
Okay.
Since we have how many left?
So now we're going in with 2.
All right.
But we're also choosing, we're going to burn one of those right away to act selfishly.
So now we're at 1.
Yes.
All right.
How are you going to shift your labels?
Well, it makes sense for danger. Well, it's more because it makes, and not because I want to act selfishly, but because it makes sense. So danger goes up by 1, which it can't. So I mark a condition, right?
True.
And then the other one doesn't move because I can't shift. So
right. Now it sounds like this is just something that you're taking on your own. Is that right? Because it's not necessary for you to act selfishly in this moment.
Okay.
Is this just you being true to your character in this moment and what they're feeling?
It's more like,
because I'm down with that.
More like I like the move. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like you can do this if you act selfishly, or you have to do this if you act selfishly. That's my concern.
That's a very good point. Well, my experience with PBTA, I forget the words that they use, but it's something like it's both descriptive and prescriptive, I think is what they're saying.
Yeah.
So if if this thing happens in the fiction, we go to the rules, right? So it sounds like you're establishing that this is happening in the fiction, and so that's how the rules trigger.
Yeah.
Or you can decide, knowing the rules, to describe your actions in a certain way to get that result.
Okay, so I guess.
But keep in mind, we've got the script change here, right? We can walk this back. If you want to approach that a little bit differently, we can do that.
All right, we can rewind the.
I don't want you to
acting selfishly. Yeah, I want to rewind acting selfishly, and I'm not sure how to frame it any other way, honestly.
Well, so when we look at the trigger for acting selfishly, right?
All right.
Say how your actions ignore or insult your teammates, right?
Yeah.
You can use this option after rolling to alter the label you're rolling with. So
Okay.
you can take this action and not
Okay.
necessarily intend to be acting selfishly. This could just be you doing what you think is right, right?
All right.
This might be a case of ignorance as opposed to selfishness, right? Does that make
All right.
sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So you just want to roll with directly engage a threat.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
think we can both do our opposed roles first. So you do your thing, I do my thing, and then depending on the outcome, then you can decide if you want to take it from the team pool, right?
It's well, your thing makes me get a -2 if you succeed. So I think yours goes first.
There's a lot going on here. This moment is fraught with mechanics. So let's
All right.
slow this down a little bit and talk out how this is going to look, right? So we know that that Eagle Eyes is coming in with a roundhouse kick to the bouncer, right? But you have been watching this situation. You're a trained soldier, child soldier, but still, you have the capability of intercepting that and trying to defend against this PC threat if you want to, right? So I think
Yeah.
what might make the most sense here is maybe to have Eagle Eyes roll first.
Okay.
And then we can see, because depending on his level of success, your -2 might not even be enough to alter that.
All right. I roll with a +4.
Well, and you can also take advantage of your influence over him after the fact, if you want to, except he's doing -2
How
as well.
does influence work again? Because
Sure.
this is.
Oh, mechanics.
Well, in this instance, it's just after a roll, you can give them a -2 if you take advantage of your influence over them. And you have influence over all of us, Edin. So
Yeah.
So here's let's break down the influence part of your roll too.
sorry, I didn't mean to add complexity. I was trying to reduce
No,
the complexity of the defend move.
Oh,
so you're going to get
I see.
a +1 on your defend move because
Right.
that's a roll engaging someone you have influence over.
Right.
Okay?
But then, Maria, you also get a +1 because you're doing something that you're acting against me, who is your rival, right?
Right. So that's why she's at a +4.
Yeah.
got it.
No, I'm at a +4 not because of the influence, but because I get that from infuriating my rival as a playbook move
Yeah, for sure.
or special
Did
rather.
you roll?
But I would say you don't have influence over the bouncer, right?
Yeah, no, I don't have influence over the bouncer, so it's at a +4. And
still
that
good.
is a total of 9, I think.
Okay. So if you intercept this roll with your defend move, it would only bring
Yeah.
him down to a 7.
Right.
So still a big
However,
success. Indeed.
no, I can't act selfishly and bump it up because I'm using danger, which is already maxed out. So,
So if you choose to defend, you can get a -2. Bring that down to a 7. Then you could burn your influence to bring that 7 down to a 5 if you want this move to fail.
Wow.
A lot of mechanics. So basically, ball is in your court. Do you want to let the 9 roll, or do you want to risk a defend move and then burn your influence to possibly create a failure?
I feel like both could be interesting. So I just rolled, and
Okay.
I actually rolled a 7 after everything, which I think is not bad because that means because on here on the defend move it says on a 7 to 9 you expose yourself to cost, retribution, or judgment. So it could be that I'm just trying to do something and it doesn't work, and then things get worse.
Okay.
Or we could go for like interpersonal drama, and I can like burn that influence.
Well, so you've brought Eagle Eyes down to a 7,
Yeah.
and with your move, you also are exposing yourself to cost. Do you want to burn that influence?
Let's see. Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
Give me.
So
All right.
hold on here real quick. So you're going to take advantage over your influence over someone. You're going to surrender that influence you have over them to give them
Yeah.
another -2.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. A little bit more mechanics, right? Eagle Eyes, you unfortunately can't take advantage of the team pool here to bump your 6 up back to a 7 because you
It's a
don't.
5. It's also a 5.
Right, 5. So even if you could, you can't adjust your label anymore.
Yeah.
But we have 2 in the team pool. If Doug and Calliope in this moment decide both to help you out, they can bring their team pool and you can succeed with a cost. So I'm just putting all these rules out there for this one very crystallized moment.
Yeah,
I want to hear from everybody.
I kind of want to describe how Incanel is stopping Eagle Eyes and like what part of that.
Actually, you're not stopping him completely because I have the move in a China shop.
Oh,
Right.
When I directly engage a threat, I can cause
More
significant
moves.
collateral damage to your environment to choose an additional option, even on a miss.
Which is perfect. Or I mean, it's up to you, Michael. But I do I have the expose yourself to cost, retribution, or judgment, right? So it's like
I feel like there's a lot going on here, and I want to give you, the 2 of you, the opportunity to just narrate this scene. Because as the bull in the China shop, you're going to be able to take out this bouncer no matter what.
Does that make I mark potential as well because I technically failed?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
But I also, in this moment, I want to make sure everybody's on the same page here and everybody is offering their input. So go ahead and the 2 of you can narrate what's happening here, but keep in mind, Calliope and Doug, that you both have mechanical power to step in and help at any time, or not. Okay. Maria, let's start with you. What does this look like as you come in with the roundhouse kick?
All right, so I'm guessing I have to figure out how Incanel is trying to stop me first.
Okay.
yeah. So so I see you going for the roundhouse kick after I already said, yeah, give me a sec. I'm just like no, and so I think we're pretty close to each other. The rings on my fingers, they detach them. They detach and they form a band around one of your legs. Maybe which leg would it be? It would be the leg that you're not kicking with, the one that you have your weight on, and it just pulls back. So then you would fall.
All right.
Possibly pull something.
And
that's not a good angle.
Can't touch this. Dun, 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 dun.
I get pretty pissed off. So since I still get bull in a China shop, I'm gonna I'm not sure if I can redirect the the target because my target was the bouncer, but I want to there's gonna be a lot of collateral damage, so I think it's either me grabbing the bouncer or me grabbing Incanel and like flinging them across the dance floor, like not even looking.
I think it would be me because it's collateral damage to your environment, so it's not your target.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So is this in this moment your bloodlust, your hero?
It's more like I'm just pissed off that Inconel tried to stop me.
Okay, so this is an angry reaction.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just going to, as part of my GM fiat, so to speak, I'm going to have
Mark
you mark
angry?
angry.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Okay. But Doug, you're still up there dancing and singing. Calliope, you see Eagle Eyes pull off a bit of a jerk move here. Party foul, right?
By the way, the one I pick, I'm guessing takes something from them.
Okay.
I'm not sure what I'm taking from them.
Yeah, I would like to define that also, but I kind of want to hear, as part of this crystal moment where everyone is sort of like flashing to people's different reactions to what's going on, I want to know what your characters are feeling as you're witnessing this happen.
Yeah, Calliope doesn't have that move, but it's definitely having a what the hell hero moment because we're here to have fun, not to hurt each other. So come on. Yeah, you're breaking the rules of the game here. And there are not many rules that Calliope abides by, but don't throw your teammates across the room was one she didn't think she had to articulate.
Okay, good to know. The Doug, they're, Eagle Eyes over here trying to turn your crowd into a mosh pit. What are you feeling?
I'm feeling like this is an interesting plan. I hadn't quite this there. I mean, I know that Eagle Eyes is some sort of fight savant, and Enan is a master tactician. So I'm okay.
So you're just able to justify this and roll with the punches.
Absolutely.
And by the way, it's a miss still. So is that just me marking angry, or do you want to have a hard move?
Marking angry is definitely a part of it. The collateral damage is kind of part of it. So,
well, the collateral damage is my move for picking one extra. I'm not sure if I want to take something from them. Just going back to that, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Sure.
Considering that you missed, that means that you don't get those effects, right?
I do, because I cause collateral damage, and my move lets me do that.
So you get to pick one. So yeah, I'll follow up with the hard move a little bit after this. But yeah, which one of those are you trying to do?
I think if I had succeeded, I would have definitely gone for taking something from them, but I did not. So I think it's just everyone's kind of what the hell right now. So that makes more sense fictionally.
Okay. So you're surprising and impressing the bouncer.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I definitely think you're able to do that. Right? You just knock him out of the way. He's basically out cold. You see him like slumped in like a lounge chair. All four of his arms are splayed out. He's going to be out for like as much time as you need. Right.
Wait, so did I fly into him? Is that what happened?
Yeah, oh, that's right. Did you throw her into the crowd or into the bouncer?
I threw her into the crowd because I wanted to get her out of the way.
I'm not sure what sort of move it would be, but when Calliope sees that she's headed toward the crowd, I want to like teleport and grab her before she hits people or people get hit by her.
Well, it's collateral damage.
That's defend.
Oh no, I can't.
Because it's collateral damage. It happens regardless.
So I totally poof in that direction, but fail to grab her, and collateral damage still happens.
Right. So you're all set up for your perfect crowd surfing moment, right? You're ready to just land on these people. What song are you playing that all of a sudden clears out the space in the center here on accident? To Doug, what are you performing here?
My house, you might get what you wanted, burning down the house. That Talking Heads.
Right. So the crowd is reacting to this song.
Badly done, Talking Heads. I just want to point that out.
That's okay. I'm not judging your performance here. I am imagining a perfect little android schoolgirl genetic creation who's just killing it on point with that 10 plus. But unfortunately, this new song has caused the crowd to brush up to the stage in adoration, leaving a perfectly empty space beneath you. and Calliope was not able to react in time. And Eagle Eyes is pretty strong, and he's angry, so he's maybe not pulling his punches. So you're going to be taking a powerful blow here.
Yeah.
Luckily, I don't think you have any conditions marked just yet.
No, I don't. I will roll.
And remember, this is the move you want to roll low on. So
I got an 8.
okay. So when that happens, you have to choose one from that list. Are you going to lash out verbally, give ground, or mark conditions?
Oh. Ooh. Interesting. What are the conditions again?
Good question. We have available angry, afraid, guilty, hopeless, and insecure.
Yeah, I'm gonna mark 2 conditions.
Okay. Yeah, which ones do you choose? What do you think that the Incanel is feeling right now?
Angry and
That one's pretty clear.
yeah.
You can think on that for a moment.
Yeah.
And define how you're going to react. But before you have a chance to collect yourself and get up and say something to Eagle Eyes,
Yeah.
What is your next move after that? Really just graceful throw / roundhouse kick karate type move here. Are you heading towards the door?
Yeah, I'm heading towards the door.
So you are grabbed suddenly by a very powerful grip.
All right.
I think they've grabbed your trench coat right from the back.
Mm-hmm.
With a strength that surprises you from their otherwise lithe form. You feel like an iron grip on your back. And it was that woman who'd come out of the back door.
What?
That's my friend that you just threw there. I don't really appreciate people who try to hurt my friends. Do you care?
That's the big question. Do I care? Hold up. I have to think about my reaction, actually. I think the immediate reaction would be point a gun at them.
Wow. Escalating the situation.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to keep coming back to the Doug because I feel like everyone is just really testing your set of rules that you live by. And you've heard about guns and what they can do.
Yeah, I'm not so keen on this at this point. If I look at Eden, when I see Mad Dog McCree draw the gun out, what is the look on Eden's face?
Anger mixed with
angry and oh yeah, I guess I should change it. I was gonna say like scared that something bad's gonna happen. All right, let me change that label.
So like afraid, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you see.
Then I think what I have to do is that's the point at which I have to call a piece of me from another future, tear a little bit of my life out, and throw a version of myself in between them to go.
Cool. Is that a move that we're taking
That is one of
advantage
my
of here?
powers. So
Okay.
I am going to use a power.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm looking over at your Doom track here. Um so this it sounds like this might be advancing your Doom track, right? Because you're using
Well,
your
if
are
now
you,
if that I'm reserving because that will be me pulling out anything I want.
oh, so you're not overexerting yourself.
No, just using my power to get in the way. You'll know when I overexert.
Okay. So I could see this being maybe comfort and support or piercing the mask, provoking someone. There's a lot you could do here. Even just unleashing your powers, depending on what your goal is.
Gosh, I think that it looks to me like Eagle Eyes is pissed about something, and so this is my way of going chill.
Okay, that's what you're trying to get them to do.
Yeah, essentially, the psychic construct, which is my future self, appears, right in front of the muzzle.
Okay, now here's my question.
Yes.
Do you have influence over Eagle Eyes?
Gosh, no.
Okay. Well, you're not going to be able to provoke him because he's not susceptible to your words right now.
Ooh.
Unless you want to say that you are Eagle Eyes. In this moment, you can say that you want to give influence to what the Doug has to say, but you don't have to.
I don't think he cares right now about the dog.
Doesn't care about a lot. So you're not going to be able to provoke.
So I'm not going to be able to clear that condition with the comfort and support move?
So that could be your option. You could try to comfort or support, or you could try to figure out what's going on with him.
I don't think I'm clever enough to do that. I think I will simply go to try and calm our gun-toting friend down.
Okay, you're going to be
clearly
rolling.
Something has put a burr under his saddle, as it were, and I we'll try and stop that.
Okay, so you're going to be rolling with mundane here.
Yes, let's see what my mundane stat is. Ooh, that's a 0. Let's see what happens. Oh, I've got dice on the table. I'm going to roll them. Yellow. How about an 8?
Okay, you got an 8. On a hit, they hear you. But we're not going to add any team to the pool, basically. So you have an option here, Eagle Eyes, of your choice. But I want to hear, before you decide, what do you say to Eagle Eyes to try to get through to him?
I say, whoa, a little early for the guns and all that stuff. Let's take a step down on all of this, and let's use our powers in exciting and functional and creative ways.
That's good advice, but I don't know if it's very comforting or supportive to Eagle Eyes right now.
It could clear my guilty and make me angrier.
I'm trying to kill it. My goal is to clear angry. I don't know how that comes across.
Yeah.
So hearing these words from to Doug, how does that comfort you in this moment?
So I'm not sure.
Okay.
That's the problem.
Maybe we need to hear a little bit more. I think that first, what you say first is not enough.
Go. I will say, in that case, Eagle Eyes, we're awesome. Let's be awesome guardians of the galaxy right now, and do that rather than shooting people right away. Because it seems to me like maybe that's not what we're supposed to do, or maybe it's what people are telling you ought to do, and that's not what we ought to be doing. Simmer down.
So I think the response will be more like he puts the gun away and it's like, fine. Can you explain to this person right here why I had to throw Inconel across the room?
Yes.
So before our very excellent explanation comes from
Have
the
an
Doug,
explanation.
which she always does, you get to mark potential, Eagle Eyes, and you either get
Wait,
to
I get to mark potential as well?
as part of comfort and support.
It's a choice of one of those.
Oh, you choose from
Right?
one of the three.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
we're clearing off angry, so
Okay. Thank you for that
Yeah.
correction there.
I thought
Okay.
it was all of them at first too.
it says or, you guys.
yeah.
Well, I didn't know if it was saying clear condition or shift labels, but you still get to mark potential. Yeah.
Oxford comma.
English. Yes. So yeah, what's your explanation here to Tegan? You know, justifying this action.
I turn and I go. I lean in with my psychic protection. I go, we're on a secret mission. It's all part of our cunning plan. Wink.
So Calliope, you were the one who saw most clearly that this woman was seeming a little bit paranoid, a little bit afraid, right? And there are people who are escalating the situation, putting guns in her face, telling her there's a secret mission. She is looking very scared right now. And you know that sometimes when you get backed into a corner, bad things can happen. Do you try to help out here in this moment, or what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, I think that when I tried to help Enan, I teleported over here to stop her being grabbed, meaning that I was not in the middle of the dance floor and could then catch her. So failure on my part. But also, I'm closer to I'm already forgetting her name, Tegan Queen, and I want to, I guess, kind of lean in and be sort of reassuring, but also just level with her. Pierce the mask, I suppose, if I can. Where I'm just trying to go like, okay, I know tempers are really high right now, and things seem pretty keyed up, but we got this. We're here to save the day.
So I think that your words are enough to have this arm release the shirt of Eagle Eyes, and you can even hear a little bit the sound of it. It almost sounds like pistons being like, like when a semi truck lets off its air brakes, right? Like, right. If you want to know more about what's going on here, you could try to definitely continue that conversation and pierce the mask. This could be an information gathering move.
Well, yeah, because I can honestly, so clearly you're avoiding something or hiding from someone. What's going on? Can we help?
All right. So when we
Maybe not
pierce,
we, but I at least.
we pierce the mask to see this person beneath. You're going to roll plus mundane. Now, do you have special moves as a delinquent that involves piercing the mask?
Not really, unless someone tries to pierce mine, because then no, you don't know me. Nobody knows me. But
You're not
in
my
this
real
instance, I'm not particularly awesome at it.
Okay.
I've got a +1 though. I'm okay.
Go ahead and roll with that, and we can see some questions here. While you're rolling, though, Incanel, you've been able to gather yourself up. You're still feeling angry, afraid. It's a little bit reassuring to see that maybe Calliope is able to diffuse the situation with the Doug's help. But you can also, you're going to hear the same responses from Tegan Queen, and you have a relationship with her. So I'm just curious, while
Yeah.
Calliope is asking these questions, what are you doing?
Yeah, okay. So when Elias threw me, I fell in the middle of the dance floor. I slid and um I slid to a stop like right in the middle, and I just like laid there for a little bit because it hurts so much, even though it's like when you get a paper cut, like when it really hurts, even though there's no real wound. And also my pride was wounded. Uh, I and then I stand up slowly. What do I do? So the reason why we came here in the first place was because there's a cosmic machine somewhere in here, right?
That's what the energy readings were telling you.
Yeah, I walk out the doors. Cosmic machine.
Sorry, you did glitch out for me a little bit. What are you doing with the cosmic
Oh,
machine?
I'm gonna find it. I walk past everyone and I go for the cosmic machine.
So you're heading towards that door that Eagle Eyes was trying to barge through earlier?
Yeah,
Yeah.
now that I'm free, I'm also going to go for the door.
Uh,
And
cool.
let someone who isn't me diffuse the situation with Tig and Queen.
I thought you were still in conversation though with the dog.
Oh?
Or not, or not.
Or
So-
I think we diffused this, like, the dog maybe... I think the dog was fine with making me less angry. It's just...
Okay, yeah, so yeah, we could go in together.
Guns are put away. You're no longer being gripped. The Doug and Calliope are free to stay and talk with Tegan. I think that she kind of watches you, doesn't really say anything as you go towards the back door, and she's still kind of just rubbing her arm a little bit.
Yeah, when I pass Tegan Queen, I just pat her on the shoulder and I keep walking.
She kind of like gives you like a little nod, but she's still curious. But I want to answer these questions. You've successfully pierced the mask, or no?
Yeah, I got a 10 on it. So
Okay.
lots of questions, although I don't think I really need that many.
Go ahead with as many as you like then.
So I guess first off, how could I get your character to open up or maybe help us? We need information about what's behind the door and what's going on here.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give that one to you kind of straight away, since you have 3 questions, right?
Yeah.
Basically, seeing a familiar face that she trusts, and having someone who's willing to, 2 people willing to speak on a level are enough for her to talk to you, right? But I think all she says is like, "Look, I'll talk to you, but whatever you get from me, you didn't hear it from me."
Oh, definitely.
And she's still kind of looking over her shoulder a little bit.
Yeah. There
What
are
else would
many
you like to know?
rules that I believe in, but one of them is you don't throw people out to drive. Right? You don't hang people out to drive for you. So if anyone hears this, it's on me and not on you. So I guess my next question is, what does she intend to do?
So she's wringing her arm a little bit, and then you see her like the arm, like her wrist like disconnects and like extends, and like her fingers like split into multiple little metallic joints, and panels pop off of her arm and expose this wiring underneath, right? And it's like a shiny gunmetal color underneath the skin, and the wiring inside is all like this cool like jet black wiring, right? And she kind of shows off like her arm, and then like collapses it back into its form, just looking like a normal arm. She's like, "Well, I got some people who are looking for me, trying to cash in on some debts, and they're not good people, and they mean me harm, and I just needed a little helping hand as a way to kind of protect myself. So I went to see Upgrade.
And upgrades here.
Well, like I said, you didn't hear it from me, but the things that she gets into, they're not the sort of thing that the Galactic Medical Board is necessarily signed up
As
for.
she's saying this, I'm just going to cover Doug's ears very casually. I'm like, yeah, keep going.
Right. And of course, there's another Doug up on the stage still singing.
Doug. Oh, right. This is just a psychic projection. But regardless, I'm still doing that. Gesture to Doug. Maybe you didn't hear this bit.
And
I think the psychic projection goes, yeah, it all goes wrong in the future, and probably vanishes.
So Incanel and Eagle Eyes, you're still connected up with this mental telepathic link. So you're kind of able to hear this conversation as you're walking down this hallway. And it's got like these pristine white walls and this like tile floor. And these walls must be like super insulated because the sound from the nightclub drowns out almost completely when you shut the door. The only thing left is like the kind of thrumming like bass beat of whatever song that Doug is currently performing, right? So you hear this about Upgrade.
But as soon as we walk through the door, or as soon as the door closes behind us, I'm turning to Eagle Eyes. What was that?
I could ask you the same thing. What was that all about?
Listen, you don't just go around and punch everyone, and you threw me into the crowd. If it didn't just happen to be cleared, you could have hurt people. Okay, listen, I understand you told me that you don't care about anyone, but just because you don't care about them, don't mean they don't matter. Okay? Like, it's not always about you. Other people get hurt. Other people die. Not everyone has superpowers, okay? Like, can we just understand this for a second? And I'm gonna roll what the hell hero.
All right. How does that work?
It's my move where I call out an injustice that a hero has perpetrated.
Yeah, but like, how does that work? Let me look at your character.
What do you mean?
No, I'm just gonna look at the move.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I roll a 9, and then it's plus danger, so that's an 11.
All right, cool.
So you had previously, you'd previously burned your influence on Eagle Eyes in order to, interfere with them. So you get to take that back, but also you get to choose. You get to choose 2 of those. Which ones do you do?
Well, considering there's no onlooker, I will choose the option that is I get them to admit their wrongdoing, and I don't turn their anger and attention onto myself. And how much you want, like, admit the wrongdoing, like to what extent is
I think it's more like I admit, that maybe we shouldn't have punched people first, but what do you want me to do instead?
So what? Yeah. Oh, sorry.
That's my actually in character's response.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
That's the only thing I'm good at, really.
I know you're good at it, but when you're a weapon, you need to be used in the right way. You can't always go around hurting everyone. I know that you don't think you're a hero. You threw me into the crowd.
Because you tried to stop me. But I'm fine.
Wall.
Wait, sorry, you cut out that bit.
Oh, okay, so you could have thrown me into a wall
Yeah.
instead of throwing me into a group of people. That's the problem. You can't hurt other people. If you have beef with me, you just bring it to me. Okay?
All right. Fine.
Dang.
Sorry.
Adult me would like to pull Enid aside and talk to her about her victim complex and how she doesn't deserve to be thrown against a wall either. But that's okay. I'm not there right now. Yeah.
And I think, Maria, so I think when Eagle Eye says, like, sorry, then Enid backs down and just kind of like gives like a light punch on the shoulder, on Eagle Eye's shoulder, and like keeps walking.
Well, so I know that your admission of guilt was mechanically mandated, but I would like to give you an opportunity here to either to share a vulnerability or weakness with your rival, or to maybe
Give them influence and hold to. This keeps happening, so yeah, sure. What happens if I give them influence? They just shift my labels. They already have influence because of the what the hell hero, but that's my point.
Mm-hmm. And then you get to hold two more.
Well, the hold doesn't stack in PBTA usually. It's just I still have to hold that I've never used.
So yeah, you can choose to give her that opportunity if you'd like to. So this would be you going beyond the admission of guilt to also sharing this as a weakness, if you want to say that. But you can also hold tight.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because I don't want my levels to be shifted just yet.
Calliope, you had one more question.
Oh, right. Where did I put that?
Can I ask Calliope a question telepathically?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Ask me questions.
Hey, boy, it's getting weird and sort of psychically tense out here. So is there like a thing that we're supposed to grab and get, and can you see it? Just want to know.
Yeah, we're supposed to get a thing, but I don't see it yet. I think maybe Inan and Eagle Eyes are grabbing.
Okay, well, when you find out, because okay, just check it in.
Yeah. And also that, yeah, I know you can't dance forever, but just know that you are the coolest. Okay, yeah, of course you can. You're a dancing machine, Doug. So proud of you.
Literally.
Okay. Yeah. Here's what I want to. I'm going to direct us to. So you have your third question.
Yep.
But in the interest of time, I'm going to do a little bit of a hard frame after that.
Awesome.
We're going to jump forward a little bit. So I want to give you that answer, though.
Yeah, I think my next one was just going to be the what do you want me to do?
What do you want me to do?
Whether that's just get out of her way and let her leave, or if there's something we need to do further in here.
So she gets ready to leave, right? You know, she's kind of itching to go. But before she does, she says, keep an eye out for 9 for me, would you?
Yeah, I think I can manage that. I don't want anything to happen to her either.
All right. Catch you later.
And it's salute, from one incredibly stylish person to another.
yeah. The game recognizes the game in the moment, and you both.
And her eyebrows are on a level that I will never achieve. So
you share your own form of psychic link, which is just like fashion icons, really just digging each other's look. A brief moment, spark. Then she bails. So again, referring to 9, you have that bit of information in the back of your mind. Fortunately, we're going to have to leave that to the imagination as far as that confrontation. Here's the scene I want to frame up and have us jump to. If we had another couple sessions with these awesome guest stars. I would drag this out a little bit more, but this is kind of the crux of this session that I wanted to get to, because we only have about 15 minutes left, and I kind of want to see this interaction, right? So, with either teleportation or psychic projection or any means, the two of you are able to join Eagle Eyes and Incanel in the hallway. And you take an elevator down deep into the center of the asteroid, right? And you come to what looks like a combination between like a mad scientist's laboratory and a plastic surgeon's office, right? And there's brochures available for different upgrades provided by the titular upgrade, whose name is spelled UPGRAYD because they're so cool like that in branding, right? So you kind of walk past the secretary, so to speak, and she has like this bright blue skin, and like some like green lines on her face, and she's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" With her like little headset in, but you're four badasses, so you just walk right on by, and you come to the office of Upgrade. And Upgrade, there's a picture of her in the embassy tab, but she has like some metallic panels that kind of make it like a patchwork on her skin, right? Different parts of her flesh are replaced with metal, and you suspect that she has similar capabilities as you saw her implant into Tegan Queen, right? She says, "Oh, are you here for a consultation?"
Of sorts.
So deep here in the asteroid, your ratings, your gadget has kicked back in, and the readings are off the charts. There is cosmic machine energy all around in this laboratory.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask telepathically, like, where is it? Where's the node?
Can I see it? Or not see it? Or
I'll give it to you. There's no node here, but whatever technology is being used here is harnessing the cosmic machine in some way, which we've established that the cosmic machine has the power to mutate and adapt people to do things. It's what gave you your claws, right?
yeah. So I want to ask Upgrade about their upgrades and how they work, and if any of this has to do with ultra-dimensional beings that are reality warping and shit.
You're a very learned individual, aren't you? Yes. I have found a very interesting source of power for my upgrades, and that's why they're the only kind, one of a kind in the galaxy. An excellent deal. They can really help you out.
Right. So my question for now is like, to the MC is like, what, or the GM is like, what's my goal here per se? Like, I'm not sure. Like, why am I supposed to go after these again? I forgot.
Sure. So that's a good question, because initially I was just like, well, that's something you're interested in, but since we have our excellent galactic anti-nemesis weapon present, I'm going to say that the
This is
cosmic
highly illegal.
machine, right? Basically, the cosmic machine, the cosmic nodes, all the agents of the cosmic machine, especially ever since we've seen Mr. Milan and his cohorts using that power, so to speak, right, has been deemed a nemesis. Now, it's not like big news, but when you hear this, Doug, when you hear that the cosmic machine is in here, well, your nemesis is here, so to speak. Not in person, but their influence is here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Does the dog know that I've been influenced by the cosmic machine?
What have you shared with her?
Wait.
Does she know?
I think I would have assumed that it's probably some sort of nemesis, so no. I don't want to cause trouble in that front.
Sure.
I say, this is a cosmic machine. It's illegal. It is a replication and creation machine, which violates all kinds of property rights and so on. I'm going to issue the galactic FBI warning now. I have a projection for it. Hang on. Oh, like PowerPoint comes up with a little display. So
she says, "Get in line," and she pulls out a drawer, and like 16 projections shoot up out of the drawer, like from little projectors. And she's like, "Look! I'm not hurting anybody out here. I'm giving people an opportunity to become something better, to improve themselves. And yes, you and all of the medical community, they don't see what I can give people."
All right, I'm gonna interject right there and say, you think you're giving them let me rephrase. Let me think of how to phrase it. You think you're giving them a upgrade? You said you. No, you're not. Trust me, you're not.
What do you mean? Surely
that must have stung when he said it like that.
Yeah,
that's
a good point.
I want to ask mentally. Oh, I want to ask, like, not mentally, but like, through our communications. I want to ask Doug, can you sense the machine? Where is it? Like here.
It's all around?
Yeah. I would say to Doug,
where specific?
You're able to
all around is specific enough.
You're able to tune your own technological danger sense, right, as this genetic weapon, and you can sense that there is no node here. There's no particular anomaly, but all of these energy readings are coming from these different gadgets, and there's some on shelves and some that she's working on a workbench, and
Eagle eyes.
And
I'll say, it's a bunch of stuff. I can take care of that stuff if you three can take care of. I think she's probably classified as a mad scientist at this point, judging by her soliloquy.
100% mad scientist.
All right. What I wanted, my intent here was that to basically tell her off on on this because of first-hand knowledge that this isn't a good thing, TM.
Sure.
So I'm not sure how to do that because I'm not great at speeches, especially on the fly.
We could always turn this into a huge, drawn-out speech version of combat, but we do not have time for that. So
exactly, that also is a thing.
I'm going to allow you to basically have your sway, but the little conflict, the little nugget of golden morality bending that I want to offer here before you win your argument, is there anybody here who thinks that they could take advantage of a little upgrade? Hearing the words of upgrade, does anyone want to partake? Devil's bargain.
Oh my god, this is suddenly Blades.
And we can resolve that in epilogue, basically. But I just want to know.
Yeah, I think maybe Enan does, but also, so what I was thinking is that what Enan wanted to do is to come here and wreck everything because she's still angry, and she needs to break things.
I'm gonna let her break things if
literally.
She wants. Like literally, like I'm gonna let her break her workshop, like. Because this is bad things, not just because I don't care, it's because I do care.
Yes.
So I wonder if there's like a moment where Enan felt tempted, but then like also like the Doug is like, oh, this is a mad scientist, like, and then in her mind like, oh, mad scientist equals evil, so I can't associate.
You're glitching out.
Oh,
I'm
like
picking up what you're putting down, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So what Enon wants to do, or what Inka wants to do, is just use her kind of take control of all the metal bits in all of the different gadgets and doodads in the office, and just like rip everything apart.
Beautiful. You will have that capability. So what I'll say is we're going to, after we figure out what's going on here, we're going to cut to epilogue, which will be sometime later. Maybe trigger a couple moves, like triumph and celebration, whatnot. But at that point, anyone here can reveal to the audience that you took an upgrade and tell us about it. Just know that you have that power. We don't need to justify it. It just could happen. So you're going to use your cool iron and nickel kinesis to wreck shit. It sounds like the Doug is kind of on the same mission. What do you think?
I am going to mark my doom sign,
Yay.
burn, and boost Enon's powers.
Ooh, to do something extra cool. Eagle Eyes, your words are going to cut to the heart of this situation and sway upgrade one way or another. And you get to tell me what that looks like. But I want to get Calliope. I want to hear what you want to do in this moment so we can have all of these ideas on the board, and then we can describe what happens.
Cool. In that case, I think I'm going to just add color onto it. But as they're deciding what they're doing and everything, or I can see that Enon is clearly formulating a plan, and she's got good plans. I believe in her. I'm going to step in a bit and say, like, so what do you have? And just try to perhaps mislead, distract, or trick someone with my "Are you watching closely?" move.
Okay. So
eyes on me, not on them.
Good cop, bad cop.
So all of this destruction is going to happen before Upgrade has an opportunity to interrupt you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep her eyes on me as then Enon rips shit apart.
Yeah. So that's exactly what's happening, right? We have Eagle Eyes kind of hunched over the desk, being a bit more direct and intimidating. And, we have Calliope's being supported and saying, "Oh, you are very smart, and look at what you made that. You did that to a leg. I didn't know a leg could do that. I didn't know you could fit all that in there, right?" Mm-hmm. So, and what does it look like when you're boosting Inkanel's kinesis here? What is happening in the background with all of these gadgets?
So that is me pulling all of that energy to me of that, and then seeing like multiple Dugs appear and feeding their energy into Enon to like amp it to 11. So whatever Enon does to these things is just devastating. The ferrokinesis goes off the charts. It probably starts tearing the inside of the asteroid apart, but that's what I do.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, this is like Naruto.
Love it. What do you do with your gates unlocked here? Oh, did you have something you wanted to add real quick?
I was going to say that as stuff is just ripping apart and the walls are coming apart and everything, Calliope has her priorities in the right place, and she's illusorily words, at least, making it so that her hair spirals, just in the coolest way possible, and her jacket flips just a little, but otherwise she's sitting calmly in the eye of this storm of metal, still talking.
Nice.
The metal storm. Yeah, so go ship a den on us. What's happening here?
Okay, so
this is season 2.
So first, sorry?
So you have season 2 power level.
Oh yeah, so it's like first of all the gadgets, they're vibrating, and then all the Dugs appear, and then they're maybe you're saying something as you're doing it, or maybe not. I'm not sure.
Probably they're saying different things, and you can't quite make out what they're saying. Like they're saying something important, but you can't hear what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's this like all this like background white noise of the Dugs speaking, and um the a gauntlet that just like explodes, and then all the shards like scatter into the air, and that's like the first after the first one goes off, the rest of all the implements in the room explode as well, not hitting anyone, but start as it explodes more and more, the walls, there's like metal plating on the walls, and they start tearing off as well, and it's like getting a little out of control, and it's like there's a couple of times where it just slices past like someone's face, and like cuts off a strand of their hair, but without actually cutting anyone. And it's like at first it's like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, that's sick. And then it's like, okay, maybe we should leave.
Let's call the ship, right? And
Yeah,
and
let's not blow up the entire fucking asteroid, and then I'd have to tell Inconel off for murdering the people we were supposed to not murder back then.
More importantly, that would
asteroid is
stop the
made of
party up
metal.
top, and you do not interfere with a party in progress.
Oh my god.
First thought
so
of party.
Upgrade was dazzled by Calliope for long enough for this to start to get to a point where it was beyond her control. She's like, wait, what have you done? All of my work. But Eagle Eyes, your words come through to her, and she's like, well, maybe it's all for the best. And she says, well, happy trails. I'm going to go and try to work on my nursing license or something. And she pops into an escape pod and shoots out. And when we cut to your ship leaving this asteroid, heading out of the tip of the danger zone, and we see that the antenna of the signal has kind of been tilted a little bit, and music is coming out of the doors, and it's all polka, like all of this crowd is like mumbling and groaning and walking out of the club like super disappointed by what has become of their club. Now, because you are our extra special guest stars, I want to hear your epilogues, but I don't think that we're going to engage in the triumphant celebration moves, even if that's what we're doing, just because, unfortunately, we won't be able to see the effects of your influence or influence on the team pool in future episodes.
That makes sense.
Let's start with Calliope. Calliope, you just did something cool. Let's go back to the Doug. Sorry, I got your hopes all up. I want to see your little epilogue sometime later. What's going on with the Doug?
I think this is probably the shot of as they're flying away that the Doug is like rummaging through, because of course it's a big party place. They had all kinds of like freebies and loot and stuff. So I've got like t-shirts and I've got like glow sticks, and I'm going through that, and I'm playing with all that stuff. I've got like this absurdly large Hawaiian style drink that's multicolor. It looks like a lava lamp, and I'm sipping on that and then putting that down as way too much sugar for Doug. And so yeah, she's very excited because not only did we get a mission completed successfully with a cunning plan that was all planned out, we also got some merch. So I'm very excited.
Mission success.
Yes.
And we see you're showing off all of these this loot to this holographic projection of your test subjects or
the Cosmic Masters.
Yes, the Cosmic Masters, and they're all nodding very sagely at you and writing on digital clipboards and saying, "Oh, yes, indeed, very good, very good. Tell us more. Tell us more."
And I will say, I say to them, I think I used about 20% of my life force, but it seemed like it was worth it.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. No problem. 20%. That's not a big deal. That's so tragic. And you would be marking off your doom track because you'd be having a great celebration with somebody. But that's leave that to your imagination throughout the week. But Calliope, our other awesome guest star, tell us what your epilogue is.
First off, Doug's board is awful, and I hate them all. But more importantly, I suppose, shortly after this, Calliope is probably getting kind of itchy because, come on. We had one great party and it went fairly well. I mean, we only had one fight break out between us and everything, but I've got places to go, things to do, ships to steal, illusions to do, and I need to, go my own way for a bit. I'll be back eventually, but I'm blow in and out when I want. I'm like the wind; you can't contain me. And as I go to grab my pink and blue ship and take off into the sunset and everything, I do want to say to Doug, at least, kind of pull her aside, say that I gotta say, I thought you were pretty boring. I mean, you seem cool, but you always seem to find the most boring way to go about everything. But man, I am never gonna approach your karaoke game. Yeah, that was awesome. It was hard to focus on anything but just cheering because I've never seen anyone captivate a room with a Rickroll before. You're just the best.
I Rickrolled?
Ask somebody what that means later. I would, but I don't have time to explain means to you.
All right, but you're gonna be back, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay.
Do you
Justice.
impart any parting displays of affection towards your friend before you?
Totally echoing the said. So, yeah, as she kind of straightens up her ponytail, pulls her shirt on straight, and then just, what, and kind of takes it and gives Doug a quick peck, saying, you're great. I'm gonna see you again.
Huh.
Don't burn out entirely before I get back, okay?
Oh,
And keep an eye on Ian. I promise somebody.
okay.
And then just hops in her ship and goes away, and again, blaring Joan Jett off into space.
Okay, cool. I love that. Now, Eagle Eyes is my favorite person to end an epilogue on, even though I know she's also the most tired person in the room right now. But
no, I right now I'm like happy, so I'm not
good.
tired right now.
Cool. Well, let's hear from Incanel, Soldier 9. What is your quick epilogue from this session?
There's fireworks going on outside my window right now because it's Victoria Day, Canada.
Hey.
So I'm sorry if you guys can hear it. Is it coming through?
It's the sound of the ship cracking.
Yeah.
We hear it.
Yeah.
Ambiance, right?
Calliope is
Yeah.
totally leaving with an illusory fireworks display because she doesn't know how to do anything halfway. So.
True. So when Incanel wrecked everything that was in that room, there is something that looks kind of like a watch that that actually maybe attaches itself to her, like to her ankle before everything explodes. And the moment it touches her, she glances down, and then she glances back up, and when they're all like waving goodbye to Calliope, you just see the anklet watch thing glowing slightly.
Dun-dun.
Nice.
Okay. And to put a fine point on it, you will be clearing your angry condition for that great explosive display, but you're still going to have some nagging fear coming into the next session. Speaking of nagging conditions that just won't go, what are you doing, Eagle Eyes?
I think if it's okay, I think I look, if it's okay with Agatha, I think I do notice the anklet, but I let it go, and that might clear my guilt because it's like, fine, you can keep that thing.
Okay.
Like sacrificing my sense of like like
Crushing bad things you see.
Yes.
Cool. So you let that slide, and your little epilogue here, what do you do?
I think I'm just driving the main ship back to the dreadnought, and I'm like, I sorry, I am. So I'm like thinking about stuff, and I'm like, and then I just feel like, well, something's gonna happen soon, but I don't know what.
And
Let's.
your constant companion, the Fate Weaver engine, says, "Yes, sure, it will all come to a head soon, but you'll know what to do when the time comes, won't you, hero?"
I guess.
"Very well. Just trust your instincts. Don't let anyone try to sway you one way or another."
All right.
And then, we have our little dance credits scene where everybody dances along to some popular, probably Footloose, right? And then we see everybody, in their way try to dance. Even Eagle Eyes is like doing a little square dance type thing as the credits roll. Wow, that was so much fun. Thank you in particular to our guest stars. I'm going to end the broadcast now, and we can just have a little talk, debrief if anybody needs to, and we'll be good for the night.